and welcome to the final whistle. I'm Steve Forbes.
I'm Kenzie Benali.
And VAR was on our side tonight as Southampton make it through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup with a 2-0 win away at Wolves. Also, the draw for the next round will be happening through the show, so we'll bring you the latest on that as we get it. Now, joining us for all the insight and reaction to that match is Paul Belveston and Dean Hammond. Paul, let's come to you first. A good victory, a bit of a confidence-boosting victory tonight.
Absolutely, and Southampton didn't look at all like a team that had lost their last 5 Premier League games coming into this one. They were pretty dominant, controlled the game. They were certainly the better team, deserved to win over the 90 minutes. They started very well. There was maybe a little bit of a drop off near the end in the last sort of 10 minutes of the first half or so, but basically to keep a team like Wolves at Molineux down to just one shot on target in the 90 minutes, I thought that was a tremendous effort. I thought it was a brave decision to pick such a strong side. It showed real intent that this is a competition they feel they've got a good chance in, going all the way, maybe even lifting it. So that was the right decision because, you know, the league, how much can be achieved there? Let's just go for this one was the message from Ralph. They really did that. They outplayed Wolves, and another clean sheet, another great performance. There were real signs that things are coming back. There was good pressing, there was good solidity at the back, and all round very, very good.
Yeah, definitely. And Danny back in the goals. Dean, what did you make of the match?
Very good. I agree with Paul. It was a great reaction by the players. Really, really was a commanding performance. Looked very, very confident, if I'm honest. You know, after a little bit of dip in form and results lately, the team looked very confident. I think the players that came in did very well, settled in and grew into the game. A clean sheet, which is fantastic. Controlled the ball, really dominated possession away from home, and created chances. You know, there's 2 goals away from home, and 2 other clear-cut chances as well. So a really, really good performance by the players, and they just showed real intent from the beginning. You know, the first half, not too much action, but a few half chances. But second half, when Nathan Redmond and Danny Ings started running in behind the defence and started to create that movement in behind, I think that really changed the game. I mean, you could see that from the chances created and the goals scored. So pretty comfortable victory, if I'm honest. Like Paul said, 1 chance by Wolves and a good save by Fraser Forster. Again, I thought was excellent. His concentration levels were very, very good. So a good performance and all what we wanted and into the hat for the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. And a correct prediction from you as well, Dean. We've got to give you a pat on the back for that one. Belvis, it's fair to say that VAR hasn't really been on our side of late, but how pleased were you to see that Danny goal given this evening?
Oh, it was still a nervous moment, wasn't it? No one wanted to get too carried away there. I mean, we always used to say that decisions sort of even themselves out over the course of a season. I sort of given up on that kind of idea for a while, but yeah, I think we saw a terrific example today of why this new rule was brought in, or the tweak to the rule, where the assistant is told to keep his flag down until the attack is over. Because in only last season, even that flag might have gone up early, and then that goal would have been disallowed without even getting to VAR. So, yeah, absolutely delighted that one has gone Saints' way. Really delighted when I first saw that freeze frame and Ings's arms were way behind him, sort of pointing the right way. Right, you know, there were no dodgy fingernails this time. So yeah, tremendous news. Well, I see celebrate.
We will get on to the rest of the stuff for tonight's match in just a second, but we've just found out that the draw for the quarterfinals is in fact Bournemouth against Southampton at the Vitality. Dean, what's your reaction to that draw?
Wow, good reaction, to be honest. We were speaking before the show what potentially we would like. A home draw would have been even better, but playing Bournemouth away from home in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup is a fantastic result. I'm sure Bournemouth will be intrigued and up for the game. A little bit of a derby, I suppose. So there's a bit more intensity about it, but a fantastic draw for Southampton and just shows, you know, in credit. You know, the manager spoke before the game with his interview talking about luck and you creating your own luck. Well, with him putting a really strong team out tonight and winning the game, we've got a little bit of luck. You know, probably the best draw we could have hoped for in the quarterfinals against Bournemouth. So brilliant, really, really good draw for the club.
Yeah, a somewhat South Coast derby in the next round, Paul, against lower league opposition. Really good chance for Saints to make it into the semis then.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that all of the good feeling that comes with a positive draw like that will only be reinforced by good memories of playing at the Vitality Stadium. Of course, we talked about VAR just now. They had VAR on their side, back in July, near the end of the season, when Bournemouth thought they'd equalised and picked up a crucial point, but that was ruled out again because of fingernails or something, and Saints went on to win 2-0 with a very late Shea Adams goal. I don't think they've lost at the Vitality on their last 3 or 4 visits. So, yeah, very, very good signs. If they could have picked a team in this quarter-final draw to have, yes, like Dean said, they'd want one at home. It would have been Bournemouth or perhaps Sheffield United, but this is tremendously positive news that, we won't want to take anything for granted, but a trip to Wembley looks very, very possible and within grasp now.
Yeah, it really does. Tremendous news, as you say. And getting back to tonight's match, we spoke about that Danny Ings goal with Belbers. But Dean, coming to you, we said pre-match just how important it was that, Danny got himself back in the goal. So how pleased were you to see him back on the score sheet tonight?
Really, really pleased, to be honest. And I think he played better tonight. I think there was a moment in the first half we had a great touch and almost scored like a sort of karate kick, but the defender had a really, really good block. But it was his movement that created the goal, running along the line and then running in between 2 defenders. So on the blind side of the defence, so a really intelligent run. And then just a bit of luck with the finish, to be honest. A really, really good save by the keeper, made himself big. And then the ball bounced back, slowly trickled into the goal, thinking, okay, this is offside again. VAR is going to cancel it out. But then it was very, very clear that he was onside and just showed the quality of his run. So brilliant for him to score again. I'm sure that will really, really help him because of the injuries he's had. I forgot he's had the illness as well, so he's still probably recovering from that. And that's something that I personally forgot about. So for him to score tonight, for the team to go through, to get a draw against I'm sure his old club, it's been a really, really good night for Danny.
Yeah, and Paul, we've been thinking Salis who for months now, but he finally made his debut tonight. How do you think he got on?
I was very, very impressed early on. I thought he looked extremely comfortable, very composed, untroubled really. He was making good touches with both feet and good decisions too, when to take a touch to himself, when to play it back to Fraser Forster, and when just to lump it up the pitch as well. It all looked very good. I think second half things caught up with him ever so slightly, which isn't a huge surprise when you've had so long without football. But 10 minutes into the second half or so, he got caught on the ball, didn't he? And Fabio Silva had a chance, and then final 10 minutes he was rescued by Fraser Forster after he somehow missed that cross from Neto. But overall, I think generally positive signs, because his first appearance for goodness knows 9 months, is it, something like that, and you are going to lack a lot of match sharpness, a lot of match fitness, and everyone always says about the different pace of the game in this country to the Spanish league especially. So there would have been a lot that he learned out there tonight. He will only benefit by playing that full 90 minutes, and I think he could be a real positive for Saints going on from here.
Yeah, most definitely. Great to see him make his debut this evening. Now, another player we want to speak about is Stuart Armstrong. Dean, we weren't necessarily expecting him to feature tonight. He got the second goal, of course. How did he do for you this evening?
Excellent. I thought he performed very, very well. Anything good that came from tonight, any creative moves, any opportunities came through Stuart Armstrong. The only thing you would suggest that he didn't do right was the finish. That was a great opportunity. I'm sure he'll be very, very disappointed with that. But again, I mentioned before the show, is where he comes centrally and comes inside of the pitch that created that opportunity. And first half looked really, really good on the ball. He's comfortable. He's actually quicker, I think, Stuart, than people realise. He's got a good turn of pace and doesn't usually get outrun, but technically good. Great finish at the end. It really is. When that ball comes back to him, there's not much margin to finish that in off the post. Completed the 90 minutes, which was great. they've got the partnership again with Walker-Peters. I think that's so effective because it allows him to come into the centre of the pitch and almost play as a number 10, which I'm sure he favours and is his favoured position. So really good performance. A lovely through ball for Nathan Redmond when he had a bit of dancing feet, went through 2 or 3 players and then slid Redmond in. So yeah, good performance. And I think there's just a few players out there tonight just show how important they are to the Southampton team. And another really positive performance by Stuart.
Yeah, on Nathan Redmond there, he had a glorious chance when he went through on goal. Paul, how do you think he did tonight? Because we maybe weren't expecting him to be playing up front.
No, he did the other day, didn't he? But again, seeing Shea Adams on the bench and Nathan up front was not something we expected. And I think he did very well. There were real signs that match sharpness, match fitness is coming back. His confidence is returning as well after so many setbacks with 3 niggling injuries within 2 months or something this season. His movement was good. He made some good runs. There's still a bit of snatching at his shots. There was the little bit of sneakiness, cleverness, or maybe it was a complete fluke that he tripped his marker in the first half and then had that chance at the back post which he couldn't do anything with. And that, when he was through, I thought he showed great composure to cut back, to sell the defender, and then he had a moment. But John Ruddy did very, very well. I don't think his best form is too far away now. The more game time he gets, the more 90 minutes he gets under his belt, I think it'll only benefit him as well. So there are good signs that this injury list is shrinking a bit and that competition for places is returning, because over the past few weeks when results have gone wrong, there have been a lot of times when you couldn't really see too much competition out there. The team almost picked itself, and there were times when you really weren't sure who was going to fill certain slots. The injuries were there were so many of them. So now players are coming back. That has a natural impact on form, on how everyone is pushing each other on. And I think not just good signs to get through to the quarterfinals, but good news for the next few weeks as well.
Yeah, plenty of positives for sure, and plenty of positive chat on social media, as you'd expect. Fans absolutely buzzing, not only with that result this evening, but also with that draw against the Cherries. We've got a comment here on YouTube. Ingsy's getting back to his top form. Armstrong was man of the match for me. Another one, brilliant game from the lads. Michael on Facebook has said Wembley beckons with that draw. Fingers crossed, Michael. Paul's got in touch as well. He says it is going to be a big game against the Cherries, but a great opportunity for us. And Sharon on Facebook, he said, we can do this, just keep the faith.
Oh, was it me on that one now? Sorry, I thought we were going on to you. Dean, we asked Belvers pre-match about the goalkeeping situation. Fraser made a couple of good saves today. Do you think he's now going to give a bit more competition to Armstrong for a starting place, maybe in the league?
He can't do any more, to be honest. He's come in for 4 games. I think that's 4 clean sheets. He looked confident, the most confident I've seen him in a long time. He looked composed with his feet, which is probably not his strongest asset. A really, really good save again with his feet at the back post. He moved his feet very quickly to get across the goal to make an important save when he'd not had much to do at all. And the one thing I liked as well, he was very commanding and in control when the balls were going over the top. He made good decisions to come out and clear it, either with his head, early shouts to the defence to make sure that there was no mistakes. He was commanded to go, look, I'm in control of this situation. I will deal with it. So he did the basics very, very well. His kicking was good, like I said. So a good performance, and the manager has to consider it. He really does. McCarthy's been great. He has. I think he's still the number 1, but the manager will maybe contemplate over that position now, where McCarthy's not an automatic choice now. I think Fraser Forster will come into his thinking, and it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. But as a player, when you get the opportunity, he's done everything. He can't do any more, so he can be satisfied with himself. A good performance, and it was very, very commanding.
Good stuff. Well, it's now back-to-back games against Wolves. We've got them in the Premier League on Sunday. Paul, do you expect anything different in that game? Ralph maybe tinker with the squad for this one?
Yeah, I think he's got options now. I think he's got 4 genuine centre-backs to choose from, hasn't he? He's got Jan Bednarek, who played today, and Salisu, as we've spoken about, his debut, but then Jack Stevens, Yannick Vestergaard to come in as well. So I think there's real competition there. I think, as Dean said, Fraser Forster is really pushing. Hopefully that has an impact on Alex McCarthy's form as well. And with Shea Adams presumably coming straight back in to play alongside Danny, that means you've got 3 players for 2 positions out wide in the number 10 positions that Ralph talks about, with Moussa Djenepo, Nathan Redmond improving all the time with the more games they get and the more consistency in selection, and Stuart Armstrong, who is just magnificent. So it'll be interesting to see how Wolves react, because I was surprised by that. I don't think Nuno Espirito Santo will be happy with his team at all. I thought they were pretty limp. They were very disappointing, given that they also have very little to play for this season. Certainly nothing in the league particularly. They're not in relegation trouble. They're not going to get up into the top 6 or anything. But, you know, the FA Cup would have surely been seen as a big opportunity for them. But only one team really went for it today. That was Southampton. It was terrific to see. So I imagine there'll be a reaction from the visitors, as there'll be at the weekend. And that's good as well, because in the previous round, when it was the same team and the same stadium, just 3 days apart or whatever it was when Saints played Arsenal, this time at least different stadiums, it shunted about a bit, so it won't feel exactly the same. And so, yeah, hopefully today is a springboard for a nice winning run, and all heading towards that quarter-final in a month's time.
Yeah, Dean, you said it was pretty comfortable tonight. Do you think it's going to be similar on Sunday, or do you think Wolves are going to bite back a bit harder?
I think, like Paul mentioned there'll definitely be a reaction. That obviously Wolves see the league as being a little bit more important. So it'd be pretty much as Wolves ended, I would have thought that would be their starting 11. Maybe Connor Cody coming in, and potentially they may change the shape, but who knows on that. So they're going to be stronger, definitely, from the start. And it'll be competitive because of the defeat tonight. But I don't think Southampton have got anything to fear. Wolves are not prolific goal scorers. So, you know, no matter how well they play, they haven't really got that threat up front that can finish and put the ball in the back of the net. Traore is obviously a threat he'll start. But I thought Djenepo and Ryan, you know, doubled up on him very, very well tonight, so not to give him any space. So I could see Djenepo playing again, because I think we need to give him a little bit of credit for his defensive duties. You know, he's a flair player. He creates a lot, and that's what we associate with him. But his defensive duties and his responsibilities have been really, really good. So I think Southampton will freshen it up a little bit. But the squad looks strong now with players coming back. There's competition for places, and there's a little bit of confidence. So, yes, I think it will be a tougher game. You know, I think it was pretty straightforward for Southampton tonight. But yeah, I think Southampton can have confidence. They're playing at home, and it's a game that they will look to win. And if they do, then 2 results completely changes the season again.
Yeah, it most certainly does. Well, Dean Belvers, thank you. So lovely to have you with us on the show, as always. We do get ready to do this all again. Only, as we say, this time we welcome Wolves to the South Coast. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff on Sunday, so we'll be live from 10:45. See you then.